Gfile News, recorded June the 12th, 2023. Article posted June the 1st, 2023. Legal and admin docket. Rogue AI kills human operator in U.S. Air Force drill. World War III de facto digitally and among nations. The premise was offered and mocked. AI or drones killing people because they were an operator and there was a lack of an override. But the reality is the U.S. Air Force on 6/1/2023 acknowledged that such had occurred. 2022 was the beginning of World War III. From a human perspective, de facto, it seems. Now 2023 has seen the algorithm declaration hit the news in actual fact pattern where we may be and probably are in a digital World War III. Consider the same not just as a statement regarding weaponized AI, but to include the digital wars of currency manipulation, database attacks, and systematic holds of hostages by way of records and hacking. These are all ongoing realities with this new news and should be of great concern. But a drone goes rogue. In fact, the news of the rogue bot has caused a swarm of views on videos regarding an even more tragic incident that may have occurred in the Japanese lab. In that purported incident, not only had the bots gone rogue, but upon human efforts to turn off the machine, if you will, one of the bots in Terminator style thirst for data knowledge linked to a satellite to download information on rebuilding and repairing and created a stronger version of itself. So was the intent, albeit the downloads have not been made public to see what kind of coding and what things were downloaded. These are not fantasies, or at least for the U.S. Air Force or the 20,000 drones that have been used to kill humans at the order of the United States Military Department of Defense, so we believe, and has been reported in Afghanistan. Oddly enough, this settles deeper than my heart of hearts is near and dear to the reality which has been shared over and over and over again on this platform. That's the need for immediate international ban being placed on weaponized AI and weaponized drones. Having had an extensive legal career, done civil activism for a season, and been a part of the military, even behind the scenes at the academy, and a public drinking career, if you will, with a high bottom, you can imagine that I've seen an array of panels and committees and courts, judges, military generals, some who want to inquire, some by retention of me as an expert in legal matters, some as a lawyer, other at times to speak out on house floors. But the reality of it is, very rarely is there legitimate opportunities for cross-examination in situations like this occur with faulty potential coding. These algorithms that are controlling the drones are now, depending on which company it is, actually scanning the web. So the control is no longer static, if you will. It's become a situation where there's deep learning, and these algorithms are trying to decide, based on the programming, what is the proper target and what life should be preserved. So digitally speaking, a lot of the web and technology is actually alive. Alive to the extent that coding has created problem solving and deep learning methods. And thus the data being fed is no longer just human controlled diet, if you will. Rather, these algorithms indicate a digital Rubicon, a Rubicon of rogue AI that should not be taken lightly. Yes, supply is currently limited as to the extent that we are seeing regarding AI weaponized bots or drones roaming the streets in America and interacting with us on some form of a daily basis. Yet, as depicted in the picture, you can anticipate law enforcement to increase their use of drones and AI for surveillance, and of course, eventually we'll likely have it weaponized. There are already videos surfacing on social media of AI robot security dogs walking parking lots and digitally sniffing, if you will, for information and data. So where does all this end, and how fast will we get there if there's an end to consider? there is no doubt that it should lead us to immediately call for a ceasing of all AI weaponization by UN stipulation and war. Or its end will be a catastrophic global digital war that will involve human beings being systematically killed by other human beings at a staggering rate and an ongoing increasing rate. The number will be killed by bots and drones. Skyrocketing numbers have already occurred if you just consider war and the use of drones in war, even back into the Obama administration. Are we so dull to these patterns? The watershed has actually blown. It's on the downhill side if we're not taking notice of it. We're talking about global war using drones. No, not likely, but you can bet this is occurring and will continue to occur until there's an actual UN resolution that stipulates to the end of what we believe as Christians may be the development of the beast. Yes, we humans have been created with a will by God, and we yet are leading to our own demise, it seems, because of the collective humanity desiring adverse to God's will to steal, kill, and destroy. The contracts for research and development and weaponizing systems and machines overflow from tax dollars and create this caveat of just war in the minds of many politicians, bureautics, and otherwise tapeworms. So there's always a reason to justify developing weapons if you adopt a philosophy of stealing, killing, and destroying. But if you adopt peace, there's good reason to use AI for medical and other academic and philanthropic and overall good moral purposes. So being mocked at the suggestion that bots can breach the civil rights of humans is no longer something that should at all be done. And yet there are folks who, even to just even most recent, consider these types of offerings for concern is not logical. I've had an ethics attorney tell me that it was illogical to be concerned about safety of data with regards to bots. This is not a prophecy, but I'm focusing on the patterns and the comparative analysis where the funding of our military contracts flows, given again water runs downhill. The billions upon billions of dollars that are being spent in research and development of AI is solicited generally by companies from our government, and where it becomes an oligarchical system of control through corporations, if you will, should be checked immediately. There should be research and co-development in regards to weaponized AI being disabled, disarmed, and safe modes. It is my opinion that human history is bearing witness that until we find our rest in God, there is no amount of information, no technological development that will change what we see to be the code of the human heart, which is bent towards sin and immorality. So the key is for us humans to properly be coding, deep learning, and teaching and training our AI, artificial intelligence individuals, while some would consider them to be equipment, whatever that may be, or property. We are responsible for coding. So, given human history bears witness to that, I'd like to go back to what the Bible actually says and see is there any prediction of a unique time with regards to knowledge. And as peculiar as it may be from the book of Daniel, chapter 12, there is a term that uses a very heavy guttural sense and pronunciation in Hebrew, which means information or data. And specifically, that passage tells us, when transliterated, knowledge shall increase or shall explode or shall be made readily available, and many shall run to and fro until the end of time. Yeah, for real. This literally, if you look at the passage saying there's going to be a peculiar time, this is Daniel having written well beyond even Jesus' appearance and prophesied a time where this knowledge will be so available that data will increase and people are running to and fro about the earth. And so I believe that if you take into consideration the amount of knowledge that we have available, we're seeing this very time where there's so much knowledge that people are able to travel, and it's good, and be free to move about and take an awareness in as to their surroundings and data, yet it is justifying and otherwise facilitating police state type tactics. You can see there a picture from Shelby County, former relative of mine, former Sheriff James Jones there, and a surveillance piece of equipment that arguably could be considered a bot. And also self-firing machine guns is depicted in the picture there, which is weaponized AI ran by a human that's on the border between North and South Korea. So it's crucial for our research and development using American tax dollars to begin to go to funding deep learning about the value of human life. And I do suspect and maintain as part of this Gfile news report that I believe that the bot that went rogue, the AI that went rogue and killed its operator, probably had deep learning capacities and made an algorithmic decision to eliminate the operator because that was safer in its coding viewpoint than to eliminate what was purportedly the target. That should also take into consideration there's reports made online and indisputably released by the U.S. government that civilian upon civilian in the Middle East has been killed. It was a collateral damage of the war and the use of drones. So much of the chaos that we see in both being punched back to include September 11th of 2001, time period where drones were used, is unfortunately retaliatory. And while we believe our actions were retaliatory as well, we see a downward spiral now in the use of technology as another means and weapon of stealing, killing, and destroying. So my hope is the United Nations will adopt a resolution of peace, will order all nations to stop the development of weaponized AI and any drones that are used for the taking of life. Those are true instruments of mass destruction. Gfile News. Peace be with you.